Imagine playing Bat Rider and that hero on the same team. You can only run in one direction in a very slow circle.
You can run any direction, but you have to turn until you get there. It's the U-turn.
You have to go 270 degrees to go 90 degrees.
God. The pain.
Yeah, and ENG wraps this up with an Earthshaker, and that is going to be the team Zai, which played a spectacular Enigma before. He's going to play the Earthshaker Fear on the Venomancer PPD. On the 5 support, Vengeful Spirit, Arteezy is going to be the Lycan, and finally, because I missed it, it's going to be Universe on the Tidehunter.
Yeah, and then on the side of VP, we're going to have JotM playing on his Wisp, tethered to G, who is the tiny player for this particular game. We're going to have Necrophos being played by BZZ. In the bottom lane, we're going to have Ogre Magi played by Yul. And then last but not least, we're going to have Sedoy going on his offlane puck, who is a hero that we've seen a handful of times. People seem to be very highly prioritizing it in bans. Like, you saw a lot of puck and Venge in Phase 2, especially towards the end. And now people just don't really seem to want to let it through, just because of how much mid-game presence it actually gives you.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. I think both of you actually just fell asleep for like 3 seconds there.
Trans messaged me and it was like, oh, this is really urgent, so I was replying. He's trying to locate James, which apparently is MIA. If you guys see James in the audience, direct him to Trans, please. So yeah, the creeps are gonna spawn right now.
I mean, James is missing like 50% of the time. He went missing in his own home at some point.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
It's probably fine. VP with the dual mid lane here with Wisp and Tiny. They also cleared off some trees here, so they're showing that they want to use the pulls that you can do towards the mid lane. You can definitely do it easily if you want to use Tiny, run there and toss.
Yep.
But even Wisp can get some of the pulls there.
Yeah, so what we're going to see right now, it's going to be the dual lane there versus the Venomancer Fear. The good thing about this is that if Fear gets a poison sting hit on JotM, he's going to lose a lot of life. Wow, aggressive immediately, and do they get blocked? Oh, this is a disaster. JotM ran away. Nice blocks by G, by the way. This is actually really good.
What a player.
Fisher playing against them right now. And now the one that's getting blocked is G, but Zai cannot do much right now. A lot of damage being spread for both teams, but in the end, doesn't really matter.
Yeah. EG definitely got the better of that, though. Like, they did significantly more damage. The only downside is that their wave's going to be pushing in pretty hard.
Yeah, and also that because they use this Fisher, it's you really want to make those Fisher count early game because you have to use a Clarity every time you use one. So, like, right now, you're not too worried about the Earthshaker because he only has one Fisher, and then after that, he's completely disabled.
Yeah, but he's still doing just fine there, else Venomancer could have been harassed even more, and without Salve, you don't want to take a high amount of damage at once when you're playing mid. So he did help out Fear quite a bit. And
wow!
Getting the kill with PPD stun and ES Fisher.
Yeah, and that Fisher actually did count right there. It's going to be a first blood going for Arteezy, and yeah, things start looking very, very good for EG all of a sudden.
I mean, this is maybe one of the worst heroes to give a first blood to.
Yeah.
Because he's so momentum based, and if he gets core items up like early Vlads, early Medallion, you're looking at even a Roche sneak if he wants to smoke up at some point and do that. There's just so many things that a Lycan can do, especially in the very capable hands of Arteezy, that giving him a kill like that, not great.
I'm gonna call that. I probably think Arteezy is the best Lycan player. Like, I haven't seen any other team. It goes down a lot to how your team plays with it as well, but EG is definitely the scariest team I've seen with Lycan.
I think Sylar plays an amazing Lycan as well. He's actually one of the other players who I would say is definitely up there.
Yeah, that's really true.
I find something really curious. 2 years ago, it used to be support players that play the Lycan. Like, remember, it was Papi playing the Lycan. And now it's just like transitions.
Well, that was back when it could jungle.
Right.
We put a stop to that shenanigans.
Well, yeah, I mean, I understand, but you would expect these guys still being very good at the hero, and now carry players saying, no, this is how you play the Lycan, and supports stopped altogether. Sedoy has to run away right now, PPD. He doesn't have mana for a stun, and now he does.
Yeah.
It's a little bit too late.
Could have stunned him, but he knew he could not kill him as well there, so just gonna save on the mana instead, PPD. But he's definitely being a nuisance to this puck, who's only 2 for 1 and just barely hitting level 3.
Going for Fear right now. The toss back. It's a lot of damage. Can he Gale? He doesn't have mana for Gale, so again Zai. How is he always in the right place at the right time?
Does it is a dual lane mid, right?
But he rotated top, got a kill, was there. I don't know.
He's a genius.
He's a genius.
Maybe he's a time Earth Wizard.
Who knows? Oh,
Sedoy committing pretty heavily for this. Yol, he's going to throw out the Fire Blast. He might end up turning his own light. The Ignite's there. He's still going to end up going down.
Fisher,
yes.
See? Yes, everywhere, every time. Zai, you are a monster, sir.
Yeah. To be fair, I think Arteezy could have had that. And mid lane, they did find a kill on Venomancer as well with their Wisp Tiny combination. So that worked out fairly well for VP in the end anyway.
Yeah.
And bottom, they have a Necro farming quite well against the Tides. It's not a bad matchup at all, as Tides constantly losing so much HP.
I mean, you're here, like, assume you're Necrophos right now. You are pretty much farming uncontested because there's not much that Universe can do around you. Is it worth it to just like invest a little bit more points in Heartstopper Aura to zone him out, or you just like stop at one?
I don't think it's really necessary. Like, as Necrolite or Necrophos, you don't really want to go for team fights or anything like that. You kind of just want to sit AFK and farm. I mean, sure, you can reprecise somebody, put them down for an extra 30 seconds and stuff like that, but that's more going to be reactionary things than anything else. Like, you just TP in, you throw your reprecise, and you go back to farming. So I think having max Death Pulse and max Status is just way too good to warrant going Heartstopper. And if you're winning your lane anyway, putting more points into Heartstopper, I mean, you might be able to push Universe out a little bit harder, but he's definitely not suffering for having only 1 point.
A nice exception, though, showcased by Secret, is when they played it and had a Wisp alongside. Then obviously you don't need the Sadist that much, as you get mana from your Wisp bottle, etc. So they actually maxed out the like 4-4-0 build, and worked out really well for them.
Nice. Arteezy, he has his medallion. Probably gonna go for Bloods after that, and just those two items can make a Lycan so intimidating. Here comes the rotation from Yo. He's just joining here, you know, being a part of the pack. Arteezy takes us as a note to just go to the jungle and farm a little bit.
Yeah, and having Medallion at this early stage makes jungle farming so fast. Like, taking away that amount of armor, still having the wolves to tank, which are going to be level 4 in 1 level. And then you can just send your wolves to jungle, you can send them to push, and Arteezy is very, very good about how he micros his wolves.
Oh, look at that.
That fissure, G. Spot on the wrong side. He might actually go for JotM instead. He goes for the tether.
They're being chased down.
JotM is gonna die here at least. I mean, where do you run to?
They do have mana. They gotta try and turn on Zai, but no more damage being dealt.
And bottom lane, BZZ, he gets a solo kill on this Tidehunter.
With Reaper Scythe.
Yeah, and that's a long death time as well.
Zai, commit seppuku. Roshan, I love you. And you will have to go back to base. What do you think about going Treads on Tiny when you don't have a bottle, but you do have a Wisp that has a bottle?
I think Treads are almost always better, actually, because you don't have a tendency to build that many attack speed items on Tiny until a bit later. I don't really very often see Tinys go Midas anymore. It used to be a thing, but not anymore. So you typically go for like drums into Ags. It gives you a decent amount of attack speed, and you're so fast with points into Grow and having Tether anyway. Like, you don't really need Phase.
Don't you like Phase, drums, Yasha? Tiny?
Well, you can, if you don't have Wisp, I like that build. Yeah. But in this scenario, I think Wisp is kind of compensating for the movement speed you need. It can also relocate you in places where you don't really need to run after your teammate or your enemy team so much. So Tread's definitely a more effective build, I think.
Yeah.
I will say that Phase Drums Yasha is a good build every time.
Oh, top ulti being used here.
Oh, Sedoy, he can run away. He can only...
Yeah, he did use the orb, and Arteezy immediately just went full werewolf, shifting.
650 movement speed, man.
Yeah, it's too much.
You can't orb from wolves.
Definitely not, and that's the thing, and you can't face shift from the wolves, and you can stop one auto tower.
Here comes G. He's got his combo here. He's going to throw JotM in. This should be a pretty easy kill, and it is indeed. So VP, they're continually answering back. Every single time EG get a kill, they also get a kill in return.
Yeah, I mean, they're not farming as efficiently right now, but at the same time, Earthshaker, as much as he's being everywhere, because he has been everywhere, he's not particularly leveled up right now. He's only level 3. Got his Tranquil Woods, which is a nice thing, but he might want to start saying, okay, I want to be a little bit more static now, get a little bit more experience, because my team is going to need me at level 6 or so.
Yeah, well, it's to be expected from an ES. They always run around so much trying to help your other lanes, so you do fall behind in levels, and what he is behind, PPD is ahead. He's almost level 6 already.
Yeah. Fear and Zai rotating, this carry duo are gonna try and find something, but there's nothing to be seen. There's only wards here, and Sedoy, which just found his level 6, is so far away. Oh no, the wards! They get the courier right now, and it's a courier with... what does the courier have? 1100 gold. Bit booster, yeah. Thank you very much, Weppas. And that is probably a little bit slower of a run of Eidos. But that's gonna be not as important as, say, losing a bottle or something like that.
I mean, still, not having the effective HP is a pretty big deal, right? Especially on a hero like Necrophos who wants to be alive all the time.
And the gold that goes towards everyone. Killing a courier is big. It's a lot of gold.
That's 175, right, for everybody?
It pretty much evens out with that tower, so it's a tower kill.
Yeah, but it's a tower kill that you would never normally get.
Yeah, exactly. It's an extra tower.
Towers are always still there on the map if you don't push them, so it's money that you could go and pick up.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we talked about VP and how they always have the capability of taking it late game, not only because of the Wisp Tiny, but having an Necrophos as well. And getting an Aghanims on that hero eventually is very scary for a team like EG, because if your Lycan dies to Reaper Scythe, and he's dead for like a minute plus, which we often see, sometimes even 2 minutes, then you can very easily just push into base with a Tiny.
Yeah, absolutely. And as scary as Double Ravage and Poison Nova can be, the heroes at VP actually have ways to respond to that. I mean, if your way somehow tether someone, you have the spam heal from Necrophos, which counters Poison Nova really well. You get a mech there. I mean, if I'm VP, I'm not too scared of the Poison Nova as they were before. And PPD with the immediate TP, are they gonna get him? No!
Wow, that was a quick TP out immediately on the coil. PPD, fast reaction, and just getting away the only way he could from that gang.
He knew that if the coil was coming, there's going to be a relocate, definitely, so he just, before the relocate even came, there, Fear gets a lot of damage right now, JotM is trapped. Zai once again, they're gonna get him, the balls, the Poison Nova, punch him, he gets it, the IO gets Fear, and Zai now is blocked from its own fissure, Jol is gonna join him, and here's the stomp, and here comes a big bad wolf, y'all run away, no! Arteezy got it. Sorry, I mean to...
Pretty much how it went down, yes.
It's okay. I mean, I'm perfectly okay with that exchange. That was good for me.
Good. Thank you. I'm glad you approve. Arteezy getting the PD right
such
now.
A good rune.
Hello, Roshan, and should I say goodbye, Roshan?
Yeah, and they also just used the relocate before as well, so they cannot relocate there. Even if they know this, which they do, you can't do anything about it.
Look at that Rosh, he's melting like butter.
He dies fast.
Yeah.
Alright, well, with that, I'd say that EG have established a pretty decent lead right now. Not massive and not insurmountable by any stretch, but for the time being, if they want to start looking towards killing some towers, I'd say this is definitely a good time for it. Although VP, they're playing the aggressive, so they're going to find Universe. Ravage hits on a 2. Can they kill JotM? He doesn't even have relocate right now. They're going to find 1 kill instead of VP, as PPD also gets a kill on BZZ. So Necrophos is already down. It's 2 down in the favor of EG right now. Oh man,
no.
The Rockman crumbles.
I mean, the payoff from that Rune of Destiny, right? Getting double kill, getting Roshan. They traded 3 for 1 there, losing only their ES.
Yeah, and
that's easily a tower.
That is the thing as well. And now that Arteezy has the ages, as you said, and they're pushing so fast, this is where Tiny Wisp just doesn't feel so good as before. If you get the map advantage and suddenly EG has to farm a little bit ahead of where they should be normally.
Fear, he blinked forward. He actually got a Gale off there. Medallion going to be used. Teleport reaction coming in. It's BZZ.
Yeah, they're healing him up. JotM being a bro and saving the Ogre.
Yeah, Ogre taking a lot of damage, but not enough to actually die. But as I was saying, as you get more and more map control, there's a lot of places that you can farm your heroes and not be seen, and suddenly Wisp Tiny cannot find any good target.
Yeah. So Zai gonna walk away from this attempt to kill him. But curious to see that Venomancer decided to go for Blink Dagger instead of the Axe Rush that Fada does every single game. I think it's great against Wisp, this decision and all. They do see BZZ kind of going. It's a little bit deep.
Arteezy kind of just popped his shapeshift a little prematurely there.
Blinks into an even better spot.
Yeah. Well, let's make the most out of the full form and just rotate bottom. Try to get that tier 1 tower. I think it's what Arteezy is thinking, and Fear is thinking, hey, that HY guy, he has some good words for us.
Zai, don't do it.
Okay, well, that's an investment, and Zai has 50 seconds to sit in the well and think about it. Fear is going to TP. Oh, no, he's not going to be anywhere. He actually gets to pop the Poison Nova. But then again, I don't know if that matters that much, because that relocate is going to take people back to where? Base?
Well, he didn't relocate from base.
Yeah,
he relocated from mid.
Oh, okay.
mid, so he's just gonna be stuck there. But they also used to relocate, meaning that Arteezy sees this as a timing window along with PPD pushing on bottom. And that's really best case scenario for EG still. You get picked off, you lose 2 heroes, you get the objective.
Yeah. The only person who's suffering
wrong
is Zai, because the poor guy's only level 5, and he just ate a Reaper Slice, so we had almost a minute respawn timer at 13 minutes in as the support. Not good.
Not good.
It is giving some good experience over to VP side though, so I mean EG clearly ahead in this game, but if you get Aghanims on Tiny, you're never ever out of the game.
That is the thing, right? It's often said when the game gets past 1 point, it's always a gamble. You somehow don't have the buyback, you can lose a game. You buy back and you die back, and then you lose a game. That happened to C9 recently on a game before this. But we're still very, very far away from that point. I mean, we're talking 50 minutes into the game, and it's not 50 but 15 right now. And with that in mind, EG, still in control of this game, can make sure that it doesn't get to that point.
I feel as though EG have a pretty firm grasp on things right now, because they've already gotten 2 of the most important tier 1s, and that's really the biggest thing for Lycan lineups, I think, is just making sure that those towers are no longer on the map, because the more space that you get, like if you see a relocate coming or something like that, you'll probably have time to shapeshift and get away. And even heroes like Fear, if you buy Blink Dagger against Wisp, it's an amazing utility item, because anytime you see a relocate, you blink away from it and you know you're safe. So, with that being said, there's only a few heroes, really, that VP can even go for, unless they want to commit to a full 5-man. And they even have Tide Ravage, they have Earthshaker, 2 heroes with great AoE stuns that can be used preemptively when a relocate's coming in. So I actually think that their team deals quite well with Wisp.
This is a very good split push here by VP, dealing tons of damage bottom, also threading mid, because they know that the push is coming top. How are EG gonna fight this? Arteezy trying to go in on the Wisp and Tiny?
Yeah, he's popping a shapeshift here. JotM is getting annihilated by Necrophos, but Arteezy's just going to ignore him and let him drop their universe. Blinks up to the high ground with the Gush. Helps Arteezy get that kill. And it looks like Tiny is
this
going to
tower.
away.
I think you have to run away right now.
PPD's here. He's got his stun.
Still though,
he's in deny range.
I mean, they kept their top tier 1, but now the pressure is coming down mid and these Necrobugs hitting so hard.
Yeah. He's gonna melt right now. Here comes the Necrophos. He wants to fight. He wants something to do right now. He cannot pop the Reaper scythe right now. Oh, he kills one of the Necrobugs. It hurts so much. VP. Oh no, he's getting in so much damage. Fear, can you Reaper scythe this guy? No, he can't. Oh, the Ravage comes right now. It's a disaster. Fear still alive. Sedoy is gonna die as well. He cannot do anything. It's 3-for-1 for EG.
Can you heal him?
Yeah.
Can you save him?
G, leave.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Poison overall. So that was an amazing play by Fear. I mean, he basically acted as a suicide bomber, right?
Yeah.
Like he goes in, he pops Poison Nova, hits almost everyone, and then Ravage to follow it up. And at that point, the fight is already lost. There's no way you can recover from taking that much damage. They do manage to get at least 1 return kill, but in the end, EG again pulling out pretty far ahead.
Venomancer still is a hero that's sort of straight out of StarCraft, right? Acting like a Baneling in this little case. But now, with this stack on the Ancients, G gonna go over, clear this, get some gold going for them. Because right now, the team fights, despite ES not having a Blink Dagger, there's just too much from EG to handle.
It's a bit low. He has to be careful here. JotM, he doesn't have any charges on anything. He doesn't have bottle charges, urn charges, magic stick charges.
He's holding his hand, though.
Yeah, he is. That's what friends are for.
I mean, it helps you get to base faster, right?
Yeah, that is something. And a smoke coming here, trying to find someone. Who is there in the jungle? It is Lycan. No, it is... Yes, Lycan. Ooh.
Lycan is feeling it, though, backing out here. And same with Zai, just gonna back off as well, as VP are looking for anyone to find. Are they gonna smoke up themselves? They're thinking about doing something here, but they don't have a smoke. Just sitting very tight, realizing the gank is coming. And no one is defending on top, making it a little bit obvious.
Yeah, BP is standing very aggressively right now. They try and find a pickup, but if you find more than one, it's going to be really hard. There's another stack here, and now they actually can manage to finish this. This means Tiny is level 11, almost level 12 after these kills, and he has the Aghanim Scepter, which makes him a little bit scary, but maybe not enough yet.
Yeah, he definitely needs more items before he's dangerous in a team fight, and the plate mail first. Normally you would see Hyperstone first over on Tiny. But
he needs to tank, though.
Yeah, he needs some armor.
And he needs some craggy RNG as well.
I mean, the thing is, he's only level 11, right? Which isn't that over level to compare that to Arteezy, who's almost level 14.
The wolves, are they gonna do it? Okay, no.
He hits way too hard.
Pretty
for
hard.
But yeah, I think the AC is the next logical choice, and honestly, just having the effective HP against the Lycan, I think, is more important than being able to hit a little bit faster.
Wolf scouts everything, and PPD is just chilling here in this bottom lane. He's like, well, everyone's top, so might as well
BP are
go.
not in too bad of a spot, to be honest, here. They're still farming very nicely. The advantage is only roughly 3,000 gold for EG. And if this is an even game and you head into late game, BP are going to be more than happy. They have good disables, they have a really strong Tiny, and they also have Necrophos to deal with a farmed up Lycan. So I think EG definitely not as dominating in this game too.
Is this where the Lycan goes BKB and just tries to go in front of everyone and punch people?
He could. A Soul Curious would also be really nice though, but BKB might be worth in this game.
I think because of the Necro, you kind of have to buy BKB. Unless you're just so confident in the fact that you're going to get a good Blink Ravage, you're going to get a good Echo or something like that, that the Necro is not going to do anything. But he has a Blink, so you have to assume his positioning is going to be pretty far back.
Because if you don't have the BKB, suddenly there's a lot of abilities that become threatening to him, and just the damage from the Reaper side itself, if they pop all the burst damage while the Reaper side is going on, I mean, we said this before, EG cannot afford to lose the Lycan, because there's a lot of sustain coming from BP, and if a fight drags out, he is the guy that has to clean this up. G keeps farming right now. Io gets the experience, going to be level 11. Do you feel that after level 1 there's much of a difference with Relocate?
Oh, I mean, the cooldown is 15 seconds difference, right?
Right, yeah.
And the channel time actually goes down a bit as well, so there is some difference. I think 30-second cooldown difference between level 6 and 16 is fairly large, right?
Yeah.
Because you basically get to use it, what, 50% more often?
The cast time is also big. I mean, shorter time to react makes a huge difference. Puck almost thinking about going in there. His orb was just over Roshan as he died.
Oop,
but not going to try and snipe.
Sedoy might be in danger here. Actually, they decide to go mid instead. They're going to find JotM, but JotM just running away. I saw the Puck orb, but what are they going for? Everyone is so... Oh, they find...
Yol, in the end, going to be the one that they find out. They do have quite low damage, though, between the two of them. Only Universe and Zai trying to kill him.
They're not even going to kill him. Oh,
Zai, a little bit too late there, but we'll forgive you because
that failfish moment, though,
just happens, man.
It's not often you see Zai do something like that, though, to be fair.
No. Yeah. Everyone does it once in a while. It's fine.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah.
So, looks like G's actually opting to go for BKB as well.
Yeah.
Which I think is fair, because you can't really let yourself get Veno ulted and Ravaged and Echoed. Like, that's just too much. Even for Tiny, who has 2100 health, which is Treads and Naganins. So, Relocate.
The Relocate is coming here.
They're going for the tier 1. They're just going for the back door. Let's pop. PPD's here. Stun combo going off from G. Magicus is going to be there. They pop a Ravage for a Wisp. I mean, I guess that's a little bit worse. Swap on G's TP to cancel it. Fear way off with the Gale, but Zai's there with a pretty nice fissure. G going to be forced to turn the other way. Now, no, he's kind of stuck. That just wiggled his way out for the time being. Now he's going to drop here.
I mean, sure, the Ravage only hit on Wisp, but if you kill the Wisp there, you effectively shut in the Tiny as well. No mobility, he's just stuck top lane. I mean, instant TP could save him there. Yeah, it's going to be enough. Still, though, plenty of damage being dealt. You can see even the mana burn being microed from the Archer. Really dealing tons of damage to Necro.
So PZZ has actually gone back in his item progression. Originally, we thought he was going to go for the Atos, but he actually went back and bought the other 3 pieces for Ags, which I think when you have Blink, it's always better to go Ags in pretty much every scenario, especially against a Lycan, right? Like, what does an Atos really give you in terms of disable against what EG have?
Yeah, I think it was just value. I want HP right now, but in retrospect, buying a point booster gives you really good value as well. 200 health and 150 mana for just 100 more gold.
Yep.
So could arguably have been better. Yol just hanging out here close to Zai.
Yeah, Zai now with his Blink Dagger gets really, really scary. A lot of initiation power coming from EG right now, so suddenly JotM especially has to be really, really careful because G is scary, but if JotM dies, then suddenly everything from VP crumbles.
Yeah, I mean, that's how Wisp lineups typically work. If you can just kill the Wisp, who's a very squishy target, then the other one is pretty much losing half of his damage output. Like,
someone made a comparison with what's his name, TF2, Team Fortress 2, and you have the heavy with the medic behind. Like, you go for the medic, right?
I never played it, but I can visualize it.
I mean, you can headshot the heavy too. That works.
Easy.
Well, Arteezy's gonna try and headshot the Wisp at least, but he's gonna run away, tether to his G.
Alright, G's out of here.
He's left.
He ain't so lucky. No, PPD! He got the swap on the G! He's stuck, he didn't get the TP off. Nice vision coming out from Zai. G is a goner.
Yeah, bye-bye. See you on the other side, guys.
Monster kill now onto Arteezy, and the push is gonna come on top here. 45 seconds death time, mid lane, Universe is pulling away. Sedoy trying to do something.
Oh, is he gonna live? Yeah, he lives.
Yeah, they're both gonna live.
He just runs away. And, well, EG doing what EG does very well, which is slowly but surely securing the game, taking control, making calculated decisions, and it's time for a tier 2 tower.
And they haven't really given many chances to get a kill over on, like with the Wisp relocate mid. Trying to get Yol here as well.
Yol is gonna TP away. Is there any way to stop him? No. And,
I mean, no solo Ravage this time.
There's a way, but he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, is it so bad to use Ravage for getting a solo kill when this far ahead? Sedoy? He's kind of just idly walking up the lane, gets fissured from fog, and just drops to the right clicks. PPD getting that kill.
I think BZZ was attacked by the wolf.
At the bottom, though. Tiny going hand. Can he kill the Wisp? I think they're stuck once again.
Yeah.
I mean, they always get the Wisp and kill him.
Go for the Fountain, G! Go for the Fountain! You can do it! Run away! Oh no, you can't run away anymore! Please don't kill me! Zai, he gets tossed. He almost dies right now, but Zai actually gets the punch. It's PPD with the swap and right click that gets G.
Well, top lane as well. BZZ being chased down here. He's going to the side shop. Looks like he wanted to buy a TP, but it's not cooldown.
Oh
so
no.
I think he's a goner.
Yeah.
EG Arteezy is godlike right now.
EG just really showing throughout the entire game there were so few chances for Wisp Tiny to gank anything. Back in the days you used to think, oh Wisp, like you have to be mindful about the ganks, but EG may look so easy. Very rarely getting caught out of position, and now just kind of dominating the entire map here.
Yeah. I think all their heroes are actually just good against Wisp. Like, the Venge is the only one where I would say you might be kind of susceptible to getting ganked. But, I mean, you can't really Wisp relocate into, I think, 3 or 4 of their heroes unless you want to take significant damage or even risk getting counter ganked.
Everyone has a blink as well. Venomancer has a blink, Tidehunter has a blink, Earthshaker has a blink. As soon as you see the relocate coming, you just blink away, and there's not much you can do.
I think this is a kind of lineup where if you wanted to make more happen with the Wisp and the Tiny earlier, it might have served you a little bit better. And I mean, they did try, to be fair. They tried to go for a lot of kills. I think G actually still played it fairly well, even though it hasn't worked out for them up until this point.
Very important in this game for EG to keep their discipline, but it is one of the most disciplined teams, to be honest, out there. When they get a nice advantage, they are very, very rarely giving it away again. Yeah. So G, of course, he does have comeback mechanic by being a Tiny alone, but it also takes the EG lose a fight pretty handedly.
I still think the biggest issue for G is that he's not able to get levels. Like, he's only level 13.
Yeah, that's not great.
Arteezy's almost level 19.
It is too much. And the fact that you're always farming with a Wisp next to you is a bit detrimental as well. Maybe that's why old school Tinies used to go Midas a lot. It's not only the attack speed that's nice, it's not only the gold, but also the fact we get that. And Zai is going to get Reaper Silo. That's not a kill. Like, he should know that. Why did they stop? I mean, he was clearly half-life, so you would not kill him there. Oh, 4 stuff on the big bad wolf. BZZ trying to TP away, they just don't focus on him, they go for Yol. Yol is going to die, can he deny himself to neutral? He decides not to. He's gonna run away, the Wisp cam with G. G clears out, there's no Ravage, the Tidehunter, Sedoy pops. Oh,
he actually cancelled the Ravage there, he could have thrown it out, but decided to not.
JotM is really, Okay, he has
that TP's so long, what the heck?
He TP'd bottom after G TP'd there. So, we've seen quite a few of those today where someone TPs and you're like, yeah, he's fine. And then it's like, why is this TP still channeling?
I'm actually curious. So, I think that Ravage would have saved him, actually. And it would have gotten JotM killed, like 100%.
I'm pretty sure he would die. He was very, very low HP when he started channeling.
But there were no spirits out, right? And G wouldn't have been able to hit him again. Because he ate a full combo like 2 seconds before. I don't know. Hard to say.
Maybe. Either way, he decided to hold on to it. And he's very close to having a refresher. At which point, you know, you can just blow one Ravage if you want to. You still have a second one. It's fine.
Speaking of refresher and all of damage, Venomancer is also going to get that Veil very, very soon. He does have it now, and with Veil, Aghanim Scepter, the damage potential is so high. It's gonna be scary for VP. We talked about how they have Necrophos, they have Wisp. Do they have a mech, by the way?
Over on the side of EG?
VP.
No, I don't think they have.
There is no mech on VP, and that is crucial when you're playing against. You want the mech, you want the pipe, you want all that survivability. But who's gonna build it, right? Because you have the Tiny that cannot afford to go defensive items. Necrophos, he might go for it, but he invested so much into going to that casual bit booster and now the Ghost Scepter as well, that he can't go for that. And Pug is just not having that great of a game, and with Blink.
Normally you would want to get it either on Necro or Wisp. Wisp if you're having a really good game, but since Necro opted not to go for the mech in this game, you're just gonna play without it for a very long time. Mech is always a great pickup though. You can buy it later on in the game and it's still gonna be tons of value. Gives you armor as well as healing up everyone, so this is something you could kick back into. And an entire BKB being delivered over to Arteezy as well here.
What do you think about Sedoy going like, well, I really need this Axe Scepter on the puck?
Oh, Axe is amazing in this game. Like,
yeah, agreed.
It's really great, especially now that you have a BKB Lycan to deal with. One great way to deal with him, Aghanims.
Yeah, they're now going for Arteezy, and that was a good decision. Everyone from EG was waiting there. It was a big bait. Instead, they decide to rotate top, try to push, but also ward that jungle, which is really important. They will see EG coming, and EG is not coming.
I don't know. I think this is maybe one of the strongest timings for EG. Their Tidehunter obviously can still get refresher, but you have Arteezy with a 10-second BKB, and he has booked 3 AC and Glads. I don't know. This is overcommitment here. He's going to get relocated out. Tower is in deny range, so...
Yeah, they're going to wait for the present to come back.
The gift-wrapped ball.
Wisp, buy a lot of TPs, do something, but invest your money. Buy stock.
Goodbye, friend.
Yeah.
We'll sing Tales of Your Valor.
Well, he just lost 300 unreliable gold. Poor Wisp. He couldn't decide on what to buy.
Yeah, that was a little bit sad.
Interestingly enough, a Wisp, even when you're very far behind, is still worth almost 1,300 experience, or 1,400.
Go figure. Arteezy, round 2 with Lycan, and it gets easier and easier every time. It's going to be an E-Blade on the Necrophos. And I like the idea of an E-Blade against a Lycan, and not only against the Lycan itself, because he can make a but also on an ally as well, because he can save him. But it is a huge investment right now. Do you think this is warranted?
I'm not sure any other item would make Necro that strong, to be honest. So I think it's fine, because he already needed a Ghost Scepter.
Yeah.
So assuming Ghost Scepter is already on your hero, I think it's an okay purchase, but that's mostly because no other item would give you that much.
Well, imagine, like, you E-Blade somebody, you have Stun Toss, you have Puck Combo, you have Ogre, and then you have Reaper's Sight. So, I mean, the amplification of the Ghost, or the E-Blade is actually, I think, worth it in this case. If you're looking solely for the...
fast here. Damage.
Does so much. Arteezy here, actually he puts himself in a position where he tries to stop Arteezy, but Arteezy doesn't care. He has Aegis and he's a big bad wolf. He's getting the Raxis, and this is gonna fall right now. Melee Raxis fall, and now the range Raxis actually melting once again. EG, they get Raxis for nothing.
Well, they relocated. They want to try to get something for this bottom lane. They're gonna get out. Oh no! He actually dies after the relocate brings G back.
That is awkward.
Yeah, he did die in base to the Venomancer. But still, that was at least a tower. You got something. But losing your racks, obviously not something you're ever happy about. But don't count out the Tiny. He can kill big creeps very easily.
Yeah, I mean, for losing one lane of Raxis here is absolutely nothing for VP. They can still clear waves really fast. Even losing 2 lanes of Raxis doesn't mean VP is gone. But it's a lot of things compared. Oh wow, the Radiant Courier also dies right now. It's the Wolves that find him once again. I can't see the cargo. Did he have anything in it?
No, I didn't have any.
Okay. Have the camera just blocking that part of the screen.
Yeah.
So yeah, G is the only hope.
Trying to fight here for his life, and in comes the Ravage.
Nicely done. Hits on 2. BZ's going to be dropping as well. I guess this saying is if you can't farm your side of the map, farm the enemies, but they found the enemies on their side of the map.
Yeah, that is tricky. Yeah. It's going to be a refresher on Tidehunter as well right now. DC finds everyone. Can he do anything? There's Oh, a lot of damage, but Arteezy is way too tanky. He's
punch.
gonna kill y'all, and now G is actually gonna get it.
die.
Oh, okay, die.
The troll fissure.
Yes.
Nice relocate from JotM.
Come on,
Once again, going to be sacrificing himself for the greater good.
Fear pinging out the gift wrap.
Can someone just maybe get close to him so that he can tether back? No, there's no one.
No.
There's no
I mean, JotM has no life.
Yeah.
He tried.
And as we mentioned before, Universe now with a refresher. 4 members of VP currently dead. They do not have buyback on anyone, by the way, which is important to note. I don't even think the Tiny has... Oh, okay. The Tiny does have buyback. So G, he can buy out if he wants to, but everyone else on the side of VP, not enough gold.
Tiny still doesn't hit for anything right now because he didn't go for the Hyperstone. So he's really mostly just his nukes. I mean, Hyperstone is very, very needed after the Aghanims to deal any damage at all. I can understand the Blade Mail being his choice, but...
VP has no glyph here. They have to defend, and they have to defend right now. The tower is gonna get hit, and Arteezy starts with his dance of attack. Swap from PPD is gonna get someone there, but he gets stun, silence, everything. Now they wanna use the Reaper side, they don't wanna use it on him. Great Fisher from Sai, and they're gonna go just back off. They get the tier 3 tower. Tiny wants to do something. Is he gonna burn the Aegis? Not yet. They don't wanna use it. Now the Aegis is gone. And now Arteezy can pop BKB and ultimate form and start fighting Fear. And he popped the Poison Nova. He can't. He's gonna die before anything happens. Yeah. Actually, Poison Nova was already popped. My bad. And BCC is gonna melt right now. JotM trying to get G alive, but G cannot. He has to buy back. Pac buys back as well. Everyone is chasing. EG decides to back off. It's a tier 3 and 2 buybacks for EG. Only for Venomancer.
The disengaging Joel even taking a lot of damage
the
here.
comeback.
Gonna go down to the wave of terror in the end.
Yeah, oh gee, the Echo Slam. Everyone gets Cracking Steer, and again, the Wiz saving the day right now. He's gonna die. TP gets cancelled. I don't know whose TP that was. The Raxes are melting now, EG.
Oh, he's coming back in here though, but they also have Tiny with it.
Okay, that's a little bit awkward, but Tiny is actually melting, and now the Wisp is gonna melt. For
GG.
there, no buyback. That's a GG. EG advances to the Dream League Season 2 Finals.
Very convincing performance, 2 games in a row against Virtus.Pro Classic. It didn't seem like there was ever a stage, at least in game 1, where I thought that VP had a good firm grasp on the game. But both games, EG just seemingly always ahead. They never give anything up.
Yeah, I completely agree. EG is just a solid team, and as you said, if they get an advantage, they never give it away. They just hold on to it and extend it even more. When they had the refresher done on Tidehunter there, it kind of